What's up, everybody? This is a crazy one right here, man. Oh my God. All right, so here's where we're going to tonight. All right, this is a beautiful part of the country here. You want to take a guess where all this is? It's totally green, so it's not in America or anything. So that is Brazil.
Oh.
But in the same city of Brazil, and I think this will be a good kickoff to this story, this is right next to the place we're going. Okay, and I found this by happenstance. Check this shit out. All right, so I'm going to go up here. We're on Google Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me what this sign on the right is. Is that not a UFO? Is that not a UFO crossing sign? What the fuck is it? Why? What in the hell is it?
Bump?
If it a bump. Oh, there's a bump right there.
It's a weird sign for a speed bump.
Dude, yeah, it is. It's a freaking UFO.
It does. It looks just like the outline of that sticker that you have. Yeah.
And the freaking this is the UFO capital of the world here. So I kind of wonder if they did that on purpose. I mean, I know there's a bump there, but
this is a story, right? Not headlines. Courtney was asking.
Yeah, no, this is a real story. We're going.
What's up, Shram? What's up, Wolfie? What's up, Courtney?
All right, let's get started. Tonight we're going to the Guarapiranga Reservoir, and that's this thing right here. It's a big old body of water.
That is large.
Do you know what a reservoir is?
Isn't that
It's a big old body of water.
It's a body of water, but it's used for like drinking source.
Yeah, I mean,
It like
sort of.
collects water for the water supply.
So a reservoir is a body of water that is on the other side of a either man-made or a natural dam structure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's the body. So would be the dam right here or whatever. So this is the Guarapiranga Reservoir. And yes, this is a story tonight. It's the craziest one you've ever heard.
All right.
All right, who's on here? Who's ready to get going?
We're ready.
And it's so good to see you guys.
We've got 12 people on right now.
I hope you guys are having a good day. I am having a whatsoever day. Our dogs started fighting again. And, we got, it's just the two bitches in here. They just keep going at it. So I don't know what the
over
fuck.
lizards. Maybe we need to get some lizard repellent spray.
Yeah.
Since that's the cause. They're both chasing after lizards at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And head button, and then they're mad at each other.
All right. Tonight, we are starting this story in 1988. This is Brazil. This is the UFO capital of the world.
There's more UFOs in Brazil than US?
There are more UFO sightings in Brazil than any other place in the world. It is skewed to an unbelievable level.
What are they doing up in Brazil or down in Brazil where UFOs are so curious?
Also, you got to keep in mind there's no light pollution there. So there could be a shit ton of them in New York City, but who the fuck would ever know, right? Because it's too many lights. But anyway, we are going to 1988. This is around summertime. I do have the official autopsy of this gentleman who was found deceased, although I can't read it. It's in Portuguese, but so I don't know the exact date, but I do know it's 1988 when we're going to tonight. And we do have some photos here. But a body was found in the reservoir, right on the side, kind of pushed off. He was a fisherman. I mean, it didn't.
Can you go fishing in a reservoir?
Yeah, if you're pouring in Brazil, you have to. I mean, yeah, he was a fisherman. I didn't see, the guy is still unidentified. So we can't tell if he was a fisherman or not, but it's more than likely this was a random fisherman out in the reservoir and he was found deceased. Now, it's not the fact that he was found deceased because there's a lot of people murdered in Brazil, but it was the way that his body was found and then autopsied that is extremely suspicious. All right.
Okay.
So now, before I show you any photos whatsoever, I'm going to tell you what body parts were on this man or not on this man. All right. First off, there was this random body, deceased carcass of a man. There was no signs of struggle, and keep that in mind. It's very important. No weapons found. Very important. There was no rope burns or bruisings on his wrist, so he wasn't tied up. His ankles weren't tied up. He was conscious when he was killed. He didn't fight back, and he was not tied up. All right, so keep all that in mind, and I'll go over it more. But this man, this carcass, was found with the following things, and I'm going to reiterate that this man was alive during all this, and he did not fight back. There was no struggle. There was no rope bruisings. He was not bound up in any way. This man is, in the autopsy, unidentified. I found this from some guy on Reddit who speaks Portuguese, and he points points out that the word desconocido means unidentified. Let me show you the autopsy report real quick. So this is kind of what you're working with here. So it's really hard to read, right? And you can't even translate it because all the freaking words are all fucked.
Dear.
Yeah, but luckily we got it going on. All right.
Hey, Sable.
Hey, Sable. All right, here we go. This man who is unidentified, who was found right by this reservoir, has had his left eye removed. All right. His left eyelid was also removed. His ear was removed. His lips were removed. The side of his jaw was removed. His jawbone was removed. And there were 2, quote, from the autopsy report, cookie cutter wounds on the chest.
Like someone was baking a cookie and they had a, like when you make Christmas cookies.
I'll show you in a second. This, and I'm going to get back to this extensively, so don't worry about this now. We will come back to this in the end. But this man's rectum tract has been completely cored out, leaving a large gaping hole. There was no blood in this individual. An adult man like me, big burly guy, I probably have a little more than most people. I'm just kidding. An adult male has 5 liters of blood. This man has less than a liter. There's no blood on the ground. There's no blood on the twigs. There's no blood on the rocks. He is drained of his blood.
Okay.
All right, so here's a photo. So what are you thinking so far? Because, all right, his left eye was removed.
It's like his blood evaporated. So if this was like a wild animal.
All right, well, let's break it down first with the stuff that's removed, and then we'll talk about the blood. Left eye removed, eyelid removed, ear removed, lips removed, side of jaw removed, jawbone. That could be an animal, right?
Right. That's what I was thinking. Like a bird pecked out his eye or something.
Because maybe he's laying on the side and an animal just rips off his face. All right.
Unfortunately. But yes.
Is that what can everyone agree with me before we go any further that could be the case?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want anyone to think anything otherworldly on this case.
Sable says she's thinking ritualistic sacrifice.
Mm.
Whoa. Dark, girl, dark.
Now, this man has 2 cookie cutter wounds on the chest.
Like we talking chocolate chip cookies?
Yes. Can you read the first line from the autopsy report?
I sure can. The autopsy report states, we observed the removal of the right and left orbital areas, emptying of the mouth cavity, pharynx, oropharynx, neck, right and left armpit area, abdomen, pelvic cavity, right and left groin area.
So he's missing his balls, plus his armpit, plus all the stuff in his throat. An animal could do that.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
And his clothes are probably tattered. I'm not sure. I couldn't see it in the autopsy report. However, the autopsy report, these 2 doctors, because they went in together to do this, they called it a, quote, systematic mutilation. I don't know of any animal that would systematically mutilate a human.
No. Now we are ruling out an animal.
All right. Well,
it's almost like more surgical.
So here is some of the blood that was found. There was blood, but the only blood in his body, there wasn't any in the veins. The veins were dried. The only blood was like blood from this, which is coagulated blood. This is his ear that has been removed. And it seems like an animal just ripped it off, right?
Okay.
All right. Can you describe this photo?
So, I mean, honestly, it just looks like a gaping hole. So you have the man that's face down on the ground, and we are looking at his left ear, but there's no lobe, right? It's just cut off, and there's blood dripping out of the hole.
Very good.
Trying to get better at my descriptions.
All right. This is the man up front. Let's see these cookie cutter wounds, shall we?
Ooh, boy.
That's pretty fucked.
Oh, dear. This kind of reminds me of the girl from the Philippines who's like, face was like scalped off.
All right. So he's missing a lot of his face on this photo. And this is a very graphic photo.
Whoa.
But look at his right bicep.
There isn't one.
No, but, well, yeah, there isn't one because as we'll get to, a lot of the muscle tissue was ripped out of this guy. Now, if you're looking at his right bicep, you'll notice, and that's right here, it looks like some kind of hole.
Yes.
And there's blood coming out of it.
Uh-huh. Could it have been like a pellet gun or something,
As you're going to read from the autopsy report, and this is the first time and probably last time anyone's ever written this, they attributed these cookie cutter wounds to, quote, sucking devices.
From the autopsy report, quote, the auxiliary regions on both sides showed soft spots where organs had been removed. Incisions were made on the face, internal thorax, abdomen, legs, arms, and chest. Shoulders and arms have perforations of 1 to 1.5 inches in diameter where tissue and muscles were extracted. The edges of the perforations were uniform, and so was their size. The chest had shrunk due to the removal of internal organs.
This man has no internal organs, but yet he is not cut anywhere. He's not sliced down the middle. I just showed you his
it out of his arm.
I just showed you his photo. He's not sliced down the middle in any way, right? You agree.
Ugh.
You saw him, every organ in his body, his liver, his heart, both lungs, his kidneys, everything is removed.
Through the armholes.
Well, let's get to that. Now, what are you guys thinking so far? Because this might bring it up a little bit. You remember those cookie cutter wounds I told you about?
Yeah.
This is an up-close cookie cutter wound. What I want you to notice on this one...
you can see inside. Oh my God.
What I want you to notice about this one is there is a surgical precision here.
Does it look burnt to you? Like cauterized on the
maybe,
edges?
yeah.
Like, why is that black? Or, I mean, I guess that could be the coagulation of the blood.
Well, that's blood. That's bruising, I would imagine. Now, all right, let me go back to the autopsy report says these wounds that you're seeing right now, and the photo I have is the side. It's a hole in this man with nothing inside.
He's hollow.
He's hollow. This man
He's got his bones.
His bones is the only thing he has. This man is hollow on the inside because you can see right through this guy on this photo. But this wound is probably the shape of an orange slice, let's say, or an apple slice.
I mean, it's oval, I guess.
It's oval, but you put two U.S. quarters together, and that's probably the width of it.
Yeah.
Side by side. That's the width of it.
It's at 1 inch to 1.5 inches.
Inch to 1.5 inches. It's football shaped. And would you agree that it's pretty surgically cut?
Oh, yes. I would agree with that. I mean, it's not like it's a perfect shape. It's not like jagged, you know what I mean? So if it was like an animal, then somebody or the animal would have kind of ripped it and it would have been shredded. This looks very surgical in the cut.
Yeah. So now let me get on to this. Now this is going to bring it up a little bit. All right. And keep in mind, I don't want anyone going into any otherworldly explanations. We can explain this.
Oh, you think so, can you? From the autopsy report, quote, precise cookie cutter holes are discovered in strategical positions throughout the body used for extracting internal organs. This level of precision suggests that the operation was executed with speed, the application of heat or lasers all occurring as the subject was still alive.
All right, let me back up. If you perform surgery on someone and they're alive, guess what? There's a lot of blood. The heart pumps blood, and if you cut someone
while they're alive,
if you stab someone while they're alive, blood spurts out. There was no blood around this man's body. There was no blood in the body. What happened? It was like a leech just... And these spots, which the organs came out of, are all over the body. Probably don't have to say that this one's graphic because they're all been kind of graphic.
Christopher asks, how long do you think it would take to do this?
Well, this autopsy report you just read said, quote, suggests that this operation was executed with speed with the application of heat or lasers. I'm going to get to this, but this is 1988 in poor Brazil. They don't have heat or lasers, okay?
Fair.
They don't have this stuff.
Brazil.
We don't even have this stuff. I mean, now maybe, but they're suggesting that someone put holes in this guy, which are all over this man. Here's another photo showing you all the holes. You see, this is wiener, but this is a hole right here. That's the one. I think this is another one. Another thing about...
that looks like his belly button.
It is. But another thing I want you guys to realize is a lot of his organs are out. So that's why his stomach is so deflated. You see his rib bones here. He doesn't have any organs in his body. And apparently they all came out from this little hole right here.
The eye.
This little hole is where they all came out from right here.
Well, the hole that they made at his belly button was a site too.
Yeah, I know, but every hole was used to pull organs from these, quote, sucking devices from what the autopsy's saying.
I mean, organs used to be pulled out of noses in Egyptian mummification.
So is this what that is?
Little hook out the nose and...
This is an Egyptian mummification?
I'm just saying, you can pull organs out of holes like that. In that situation, it was out the nose.
This autopsy report says that these are not cuts. They are tubular suction holes, end quote. The autopsy also states that there were sucking devices. Now, this is all in this autopsy that was made public, I think, in 1994. And you can see the autopsy. Especially if you speak Portuguese, you can verify all of this. It's on the internet. All right. So basically, someone used some kind of vacuum technology to suck up out of the organs, right?
Yeah.
Now, where's your head at now? Is it still an animal?
Oh, I'm already on the alien path. It's fine.
God damn,
fine.
that was quick.
I am. I mean, otherwise, I'm thinking doctor, black market. Sable had black market organ thing as a guest, and I thought that was a pretty good one. But otherwise, with all of the alien UFO stuff we've been watching, I'm easily there.
All right, Sable, let's go down this road real quick. Black market organ harvesting, because I did think that too, and I wanted to make sure that this wasn't that. On the pros of that is Rio is pretty close, and this is, I don't know about 1988, but if I wanted to go get a lung for cheap, I'd probably go to Rio, Brazil, right?
If you live in Brazil, yes, you would go to a very populated city, probably.
All right, so, but look at the organs taken here. The lips, the eyelid. Who's going to get an eyelid grafted to another face? So the organs, all the organs were taken, so that could be it. But as I'm going to show you here in a second, this victim didn't die from head trauma or anything. The victim died from having his organs sucked out of his body. He was still alive during this whole procedure. Why is that important? Well, when the next time you eat a cheeseburger, you can just remember that cow you're eating was killed really quickly. Because if he wasn't and he knew it was coming, then that meat wouldn't be as good. Because he would be tensed up and all the stress. Stress in the body, especially of getting tortured, will ruin organs for your black market trade, right? I mean, so that is one of the cons. So he was in intense pain, which the autopsy shows. All right. And why wouldn't they just cut him open? So, all right, they didn't kill him.
True. Very good point.
They didn't kill him. They didn't bind him. And why wouldn't they just cut him open? If I'm going to get some organs...
You don't want to disturb the organs.
Exactly. And sucking them
out of a
through
tiny hole.
A 1-inch hole, I feel is not the best way of extraction because it might just, ruin the organs, like spaghettify them and all. You're not going to be able to sell them.
That makes sense. I agree with
They're
that.
They're going to come out like freaking ketchup paste or something, You're not going to be able to sell those. But that's a really good point. Also, where's all the blood? This man was alive, so the heart was pumping blood, but there's no blood left. And as far as the organs go, Sable, why take the muscle tissue? That hole in his bicep was actually there to extract the muscle tissue from his bicep. I mean, number one, how do you do that at all? Like, how do you get just the muscle, the fibers out? They pulled it out like spaghetti or like Twizzlers. They just, and all the muscle fibers came out like ragatoni, through that small hole. Why? Who the fuck needs muscle fibers for?
Good question.
All right.
You've already convinced Sable that she's saying she agrees with you now. There you go.
I didn't say that.
It's a great, yes, it was a great point and very good counterpoint.
All right.
So we're back to aliens.
No, well, so the doctors are saying there was some kind of suction going on. Now, I did look up this. There is a weird type of catfish in Brazil called the whale catfish. Look at this bad boy.
Catfish are scary.
Look at this guy.
No, thank you.
Is that his eyes?
No, I think that's his nose. Those are his nostrils.
These catfish are deadly, and they wound humans, their victims or whatever, in a very similar way to these suction holes. But you can see that they're different still. But the reason I'm showing you this is...
Jesus Christ.
This is the closest thing that we have to make that perfect little hole like that. You know what I'm saying?
Other than surgery.
Other than surgery, heat or lasers.
Right.
It's these catfish. And this wound is in stark contrast to the other one. You know, if you need a back-to-back, I can show you the other one again. Here, this is this is the other one, and this is the catfish wound. Completely different. But I did want to bring that up because these catfish are found in this reservoir, and apparently they are mean as hell. But why would a catfish do this and then drain all their organs? They're not sucking stuff up. The catfish are just like instinctively doing, like, it's more biting, you know? And this is just different, right? I mean, there's no traces around here.
I mean, could it be possible? Maybe if these were like superhuman catfish and he was like attacked by a group of them, that would explain where the blood went. It was in the lake.
All right. Do you know what a rectal tract is?
Fuck no.
That's how I'm going to start the episode.
Is this should we show your alien sticker? Get in, loser. We're doing butt stuff.
The anal crypt.
Oh my God.
That's what it says right here.
The crypt keeper.
Anal crypt. It says right there. Look, anal crypt. So this is an organ tract right here. Organ tract. I wanted to tell you this because this man also suffered from another wound. And I wanted to show you what...
oh boy, was his butt probed?
Well, hold on. So this is the anal tract here. All right. Jesus. Let me read from the autopsy right quick.
Okay.
Let me go back.
Let's go to the official report.
Okay. It says the following. This is from the autopsy.
This is so awesome.
The rectum tract has been cored out.
Oh God, that is like not a descriptor I would ever want from that area of my body.
So think of a big drill. Coring something out.
Across my legs.
Coring something out. That's how you put like trains that go through mountains. You have to core that mountain out, baby. You have to core that thing out. So
the sound effects are awesome.
So I would show you, or I would try to describe the large gaping hole. But the reason it seems like, I'm just going to be completely honest, they pulled a lot of organs out of this guy's ass. This is it right here. There's the gaping hole.
Okay, so the Egyptian hook thing, instead of it out the nose, was out the butt.
That is a gaping...
I do not want to be looking at this. Oh.
I mean, I know this is probably in bad taste, but we were talking about sunflower the other day.
Ugh.
I mean, dude, is this not a huge effing hole?
Goodness.
Let me go back right quick. Let me go back. Here, let me take this off screen. Oop, just put it...
Courtney says a lot of animals go to the anus. So there you go.
Okay, there you go, Courtney. Is an animal. A very fucked up animal. This guy was alive the whole time. Okay? They saw that if it was an animal, they would have ripped, whatever animal extracted. There was not blood spurtage. There was nothing. And his anus was cored out.
Brandon says they didn't just wrecked him, they keeled him.
Oh.
That's a good potential title name if you haven't come up with it.
All right. This man, there was a presence of cerebral edema with direct traumatic origin. And anyway, that is big doctor fancy terms for this man died a very agonizing death. Okay. Very agonizing death. And I tried to look this up. I'm not a doctor, but the cause of death was vagus stimulation, which is a nerve. Basically, this guy was getting tortured so badly while he was alive. The pain was so immense that his brain and the vagus nerve sent a message to his heart to shut his heart down. And that's how he died. We think.
That's awful.
Because we can't check his heart because he ain't got one. It's all been sucked out through his butthole, literally. But that's what they think killed him. They know he was alive when this happened. They know it was extremely quick. They know this man did not fight back. They know this man was not bound up. This man did not have any sedatives or alcohol or anything in the little blood that they found. They probably scraped it from his anus and tested it.
Ugh.
They didn't find any of that stuff. So it's this guy, and keep in mind, this guy, he is spread out almost like willing. I'm not going to show you the butt photo again, but if you look at his legs, it's like here, it's easy access. It seemed like someone was holding him. Like
Spread eagle.
Spread eagle.
Or like the Vitruvian Man.
Vitruvian Man, yeah. Was it Leonardo DiCaprio? The Vitruvian Man. This guy was willing to get all of his organs sucked out through these sucking holes.
Or held against his
Held
will
with
in that
what?
position.
There's no rope that held him. Could he have been held by some sort of beam of light,
Oh, I don't know about that.
What the fuck was he held by?
I don't know.
And why didn't he fight back? Oh, man. All right. So that was definitely something to see.
Sure was.
All right. Let me go over these little questions I have. Who would do this? All right. All right.
We've gotten a lot of commentary on the cartels.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's a good one. What did it say specifically?
Just the cartels would do something terrible.
I have seen that the cartels would do this. And I did put, all right, so forgetting that, I don't know if they would even have this sort of techniques to cut, because it did look like it was cauterized, like you said, those holes. And the organs were sucked out somehow. I don't know if the cartel does something like that. I know they're ruthless.
Yeah.
But you got to also keep in mind that this man was getting his organs sucked out, which is extremely painful. So I feel, maybe this is just me, but even if you're a cartel member and just the most horrible person ever, you would feel for your own species a little bit, because this pain was immense, right? And also go back to the autopsy where it says, quote, "This level of precision suggests that the operation was executed with speed, the application of heat or lasers, all occurring as the subject was still alive." The cartel, what? Go ahead.
Shram's title nomination, Butthole Slurpers.
Oh, that was good.
You got some good ones to choose from tonight.
All right. So, I mean, I can't really say the cartel or not the cartel, besides the fact that I don't think they would just, I think they would just cut them open if they wanted the organs.
Yeah, that's a lot of effort.
I mean, this guy's organs are not in his body. They're sucked out through these holes. I don't even know how they would do that. They would have to bring some sort of vacuum that's hooked up to some kind of gas generator. They would have to do something. I mean, keep in mind, this is 1988 in Brazil. I mean, I guess it is possible. There's a lot of work. I guess if you really want to torture someone, then that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Some of the other questions I had, we're just now entering technology where we can do stuff like this. Liposuction, stuff like this. This is 1988 in Brazil and a poor Brazilian community. So I don't think they had that level of advanced medical technology yet. Also, I brought up, how was the victim detained? No defensive wounds, no rope to bind his wrists, legs, and arms. And he was kind of starfished out like the Vitruvian Man, making it easy. It was like he was willing. But ain't nobody in hell going to be willing to do this. Even the dude that wanted to get eaten while he was alive, he ain't going to be able to go through this amount of pain. I don't think. Shit. And also, what about the organs? Black market organ harvesting is one thing, but what about like the muscle tissue? You can't sell that on the black market. Why would you want that? Why would you want an eyelid? Okay. And also, why not dispose the body? All right. This is the thing. And you saw the photos, and I'm not going to show you them again unless you want me to.
Appreciate it. Nope.
But when we talk about a ripper, right? Like a Jack the Ripper type, or someone who kind of just Black Dahlia someone, they position the body, or not to say they have remorse, but they may have a little bit. Or they at least kind of roll them over or something. What I'm trying to say is this body appears to just been used like a Kleenex and just left. Not even discarded like trash, like just no care in the world. All right, so here's the thing I put in my notes that maybe help explain. If you're at a picnic table in the park and you squash a bug on the table, all right, you're going to at least flick it off the table. You're not just going to sit there with the damn bug there, You're going to at least flick it off. It was like you just squashed this bug and then just said, didn't even say fuck it. You just left. Like, oh, I'm done. Like, my job's done. Like, what I'm trying to say is no human empathy at all, It just seems like it's just so systematic.
Yeah.
All right. And someone did bring up in one of these forums about advanced alien technology in the form of like computational robots, Like we played at Mass Effect. There was like robots that were completely computers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Someone with a complete absence of consciousness, I guess. I don't know. Fuck. And that's all I got on that case. So that's it.
And there was no paralyzing agent found in the bloodstream. That was one of Christopher's questions.
Well, apparently there was no blood in the bloodstream at all.
Less than a liter.
Yeah. So I'm guessing they did check. That's all in the autopsy report. No, the toxicology report came back as nothing. This was a random fisherman from what they think. That's what he would be out there. Remember, he is still unidentified, which is kind of crazy that no one would identify him. I mean, let me show you the town again. Okay. Like, tell me why can't someone identify this guy? Yeah, look at this town. I mean, how many people? Like, look, that's it.
Small.
I mean, if he's like just a hobo, I mean, you would still know. Oh, that hobo's gone. Like, there's like less than 1,000 people.
Yeah.
You know?
Condensed. It's condensed into like a neighborhood.
Yeah,
know?
I mean, but then again, he was sort of. It was in the same division here, but he was.
I mean, still, there's nothing else that's like really around there.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Crazy.
Wow. Brandon says chupacabra or the vampire creature in Brazilian folklore. Also good guess.
The vampire creature? I didn't hear about that one. What is that one? I'm kind of curious now. Do you guys like these UFO cases?
I do.
All right, so...
Because this one is, it's like murder / with the possibility of UFOs being the murderer.
There's one thing that I didn't bring up, and because I don't want to see the photos anymore, but this, especially in Brazil, is eerily reminiscent to cattle mutilations. So, yeah, there are photos. You can look them up, but cows getting skinned, their organs harvested. Dude, I don't know, man. It's crazy. I will tell you that in Brazil, they have a lot of UFO sightings. In fact, we literally did a case.
Yeah.
The lead mask case.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another one from the 70s that's supposed to be just like this one, apparently, And it's all there, man. I mean, it's hard to find like the autopsy report and stuff. You got to go to the archive Wayback Machine, but it's still there. I don't know. That's the butthole slurpers. I feel like you kind of stole my name.
Butthole slurpers. I mean, she made it better.
Oh, you think so?
What was yours?
Butthole suckers.
Slurpers sounds more like surfers, which is the band name.
Oh, fuck. Slurpers. Surfers.
Point for Shran.
No.
Let me go to my trivia thing add a point.
So that's the case, man. That's all you're going to get. If you know Portuguese, you're more than welcome to
So
read
what did they rule it as? Like, what did they rule? Like, obviously it was an unsolved case.
Yeah, it's
right?
just an unsolved.
What did? At the Vega nerve. That's how they ruled the cause of death.
Yeah, which I don't know how they did that, but they're basically saying the torture was so bad. I mean, because think about it. You're getting your organs sucked out through small holes, including your anus, which has been just cored out. I mean, what kind of machine did they use to core it out? Like what are those things? It's like kind of like a drill, but there's no trauma to the cheeks. So if they use some type of drill and the guy's sitting there butt naked and he's just allowing someone to core out his asshole. I mean, what in the fuck, right? I mean, I feel like even if it was a cartel and you had 3 or 4 guys holding him down, he would squirm around and you would have trauma like to the legs and stuff. Like whatever machine would cut his butt cheek, This guy was just like willing. Yeah, just go ahead and core that shit out, man. Core out that butt, Butt core with Tony Horton. Or what's that?
Yeah.
Butt Nutty X. And the fact that you can actually see through the guy, that's fucking crazy.
Gross.
So how did they do it?
I don't know.
And the organs came out all those holes. And it was quick. Oh, come on. You fucking aliens did it, motherfucker. That's where we going. So that was it, man. That was crazy. I want to start doing these cases because guess what? The UFO thing's getting big and people are seeing stuff. The Vegas thing was big. And I don't know. Apparently the whole thing is disclosure now. Disclosure. Like that's the key word, the hot topic, disclosure.
Brandon said it's the Capabello. That's the, I guess, name of the term.
Vampire.
There you go.
So anyway, I got some good cases coming up. Obviously, we're doing a crazy case next week or on Saturday. And plus I want to do those werewolf cases and stuff like that. But
cool.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
That was a fun one.
Anyway, that's all I got. So until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely subjects.